Today is part 3 in our video series for Universe Mode, and it's an exciting one because we are going to go in depth on match tables, how to use them, how to tweak them, and how to use them to your advantage in Universe Mode. Let's get started. Okay, the big one. Let's get into match tables a little bit. I did do a previous video. If you check out the channel, I've done one going pretty in depth on match tables and how to adjust everything, but it's been really asked, and we mentioned we would do it. So we go into select your show. We're going to edit our shows, and we're going to go into Monday Night Raw, and we'll just focus on doing Raw just to make sure that you have a better understanding of this. Everything is set up as default. So your regular matches are not your rivalries. Look at the top there. We have regular, we have one-on-ones and two-on-twos for your rivalries and what type of matches those will have. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. There's strategy, there's customization, there's 80 million downloads. I'm talking about Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is definitely the mobile experience you need to be able to pick up this holiday season. And as pro wrestling fans and MMA fans, I think you're gonna be really excited about who we're going to announce. We have this new legendary champion available in-game now, and it's Ronda Rousey. That's right, it's Ronda Rousey's very own Raid champion. She is so cool. She got this tough arena fighter look with her clan sash around her, and of course, the Fists of Fire. If you're going to be in a video game looking like a badass gladiator, this is the way to go. Not only does Ronda look strong, she's a real threat on the battlefield too. She's got a bunch of multi-hit skills, making her perfect for taking down bosses like the Fire Knight. And she hits like a steam drain too. Better yet, her second skill blocks both active and passive skills, making her perfect for shutting down those super tough arena teams. If that's not enough, her third skill is not only a powerful AoE attack, but it actually makes her immune to all turn meter reductions when it's not on cooldown. How great is that? And even after you've used it, it still reduces all turn meter reduction effects by half when it's on cooldown. So Ronda can keep on trucking, whether it's PvP battles or taking on tricky bosses. Ronda will find a place on any team. Also, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get exclusive rewards in Raid right now. You can get Ronda for free right now, whether you're a new or longtime player. Just by logging into Raid, all you've got to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and February 20th, and Ronda's yours. That's all there is to it. To celebrate Ronda's arrival in Raid, you'll also use the special promo code RAIDRONDA, available for all users new and old, to get a bunch of helpful stuff like a 3-day 100% XP boost, 500k silver, and 5 full energy refills, perfect for leveling your Ronda up so she's at the top of her game. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code here on screen. You'll get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Tayrell, 200k silver, 1 energy refill, and 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get in game. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. And once you're in game, come find me under the name Assemble, and if you're fast enough, you can join my clan. Now, if you are always playing with a lot of rivalries, we'll spend a lot of time here. Match tables simply are to allow you to adjust the amount of time certain matches are going to happen on your show. If you don't want to have mixed gender matches, you could just change the percentage of this for when it's going to happen. You could vacate the match rule itself and just hit Y or triangle, and that would also just get rid of it completely for you. So you could have a really clean match table if you wanted, and you wouldn't have to worry about very much. So if you don't want to have any of these matches, you don't have to. But again, if you have a large Raw SmackDown show, maybe you do or do not want to have a lot of tag team matches. Maybe you feel that the show is just the AI and the computer is just generating way too many. So you could reduce this to make sure that there's only ever going to be 2 tag team matches on Raw every week. The 2 tag team matches, what are the chances of those matches actually occurring based off of how the rivalries are set up, those matches, your whole card? You could change the percentages here of how often, what's the percentage and likelihood of this match occurring, of having a tag match. And you can obviously set it so that, like, hey, do you want to have unlimited normal tag team matches on your Raw every single week? No, I kind of only want to have like a maximum of 3. And I want to make sure that, maybe you want to make sure that every week it's going to be a main event match, is going to be a one-on-one match. But this is where match tables can be fun. If you do get in here, you can do whatever you want. And you could also add in your custom matches, which I like doing. So if you have certain custom matches or any match, and you want to make sure that you're going to have this on your show, go ahead. So I want to do like a 2 out of 3 falls Extreme Rules match. What are the chances of this happening? It's a pretty good chance, 40%. And I only want to have one of these. And maybe I want to have this for a championship. Great. And I can make it for the main event. So now on Raw, every week, 2 out of 3 falls Extreme Rules type of match is going to happen. It's a one-on-one match, and it will always be a main event, and it will always be for a title. So you can get really fun with this, where you're like, yeah, I love sometimes when Raw has a 5-way match happening. You could go in there, and again, if you want to be really, really nitty gritty with universe mode, you can go in and update this all the time, where you're like, okay, next month, I want to make sure that on SmackDown, there is going to be a fatal 5-way match that is going to happen. We're going to have one of those occur, and we're only going to have it show up maybe like 25% of the time. It's going to be the main event. These are for your regular matches. Yes, you can go into that week and just delete the match on the match card and set it up again differently. This is just another way to do it if you want to get more nitty gritty with it. Now, if we go over to our rivalries, these are for our one-on-one rivalries that we're going to have. So if we're going to think about, for example, our main event, our main championship for the WWE Universal Championship, one of the rivalries that's going to occur, we're going to make sure that we are going to get a steel cage match out of it. What are the chances of it? Just put it at like 15%. It's going to happen once. So we got to make sure that this is for Raw, that one of our one-on-one rivalries is going to have a steel cage match. So that could mean that you are going to get possibly a steel cage match every single week, but it might be for Becky versus Bayley, or it might be Roman versus Cody, but it will happen. And that's kind of cool. Same if you go over to tag team matches. I like tornado tag matches. Maybe you have some custom matches. Maybe you want to be able to make sure there's always a ladder match for your show. This also gets interesting too if you have specifically designed shows. So if I back out for just a second, and I hope that was clear, but if you go out of this, we go to our calendar, let's say TLC. This is a good example. So TLC, we're going to edit TLC, and you can see the match table is default, and it will default to the TLC pay-per-view style of show. So you can see we have these one-on-ones, triple threats, etc. This is where it gets to be a lot of fun for pay-per-views, especially because maybe you want to have an ECW show. So you always want to have all these hardcore matches, or TLC, you want to change this up so we have different style TLC matches. But look how the computer sets it up, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to be TLC matches. And you go, well, I don't really want to have a triple threat TLC match. Yes, I want to have a one-on-one TLC, but maybe that's not the main event for this year's TLC show. Maybe you're building a card so that the main event tag team TLC is going to be for the title, the tag titles, and that's your main event. So once again, you can have a lot of fun with this, and to say I'm going to have one tag team title match because maybe there's only one tag team titles on your entire show. Like I've got the Usos as tag champions, and they run on Raw and SmackDown. Well, I only want one 2-on-2 tag team match. It's got to be this one. And we only want that for the titles. So I don't want to have another tag match at TLC. So this is, again, it's another way for you to be able to build out, usually like with the pay-per-views, to be able to have more fun with how do you want to create a pay-per-view match. If I want to have a 5-way ladder match, let's do it. We're only going to have one of these, and we're going to make sure that this is happening like pretty much for sure. You can also hit the trigger on your controller to go by intervals of 10, so you can quickly do this. Now, if you go over to rivalries, this is just for any of the matches that you want to see on the card. And you can do a lot of stuff here. Look at all the different type of matches you can create. So pay attention to how many matches you have on the card. If we save this, so we have 10 matches for TLC. And if we go into our custom matches, rivalries, okay, so our rivalries, we have 4, we technically have 8 rivalries that are going to happen at TLC. So a one-on-one TLC match, it's going to happen. We're going to have another one for a rivalry. Maybe you want to make sure that that one is just a straight up ladder match. And that one is going to be like 100% going to happen. We're only going to have one of those. You can go in once again and customize it, that show that Bayley and Bianca are the ones that are going to have the ladder match for the women's title. You can go that path, but you could also do this way if you just want to preset that the match card is going to have these types of matches happening, and then it just kind of randomizes who's going to get it. But match table can be a lot of fun. It gives you a lot more control than you think over what these matches are going to look like on the card, and I really think especially when it comes to pay-per-views. So if we go to Elimination Chamber for a second here, we've got 10 matches. Well, we're going to have 2 chambers, so that's going to eat up, like, that's an hour and an hour, right? I'm thinking of Triple H, and he's booking the show. So maybe we only want to have 6 matches that are going to be at Elimination Chamber. Let's go to the match table. So you can see that we're going to have, okay, cool. It is going to have 2 Elimination Chamber matches. You may want 1, you may want 2. We're going to make sure, though, that they're for the main event and for a title. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's actually going to be the main event, but it's for a #1 contendership for you. There's a lot of different things you could do here, but we only have 6 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, we need a 6th one. The computer didn't even set that up. I don't want a fatal 4-way or a triple threat. We're going to have only 1 tag match here for the championships. And for normal matches, we'll have 2 singles matches. So 2, 4, 5, and we need 1 more match to happen. And let's make this one like a handicap match. And it's going to be a 1-on-2 tag. And there's only going to be 1 of them. And yeah, that's going to happen. And we'll adjust this up a little bit. And our normal match, 50-50. So this way we kind of ensure that we are going to get these matches at Elimination Chamber. Now, let's go over, and for the argument's sake here, let's simulate all the way over to Elimination Chamber. And then let's just see what kind of matches we do get. Okay, we got Elimination Chamber. We got our custom Roman Reigns. That worked. So we have a Elimination Chamber match for the Raw Women's Champion to kick off the show. And our main event is for the WWE Undisputed Championship. It's 6-man Elimination Chamber. So that worked. And that's awesome. Now, if you're following along with your universe, maybe you do like to auto-create and auto-populate the rivalries. But this is great because this way, again, it makes a little bit more sense with the way WWE even books their shows. We have a 1-on-1 match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is great. We've got a handicap match, which is odd. Kofi and Eric versus Ivar. Okay. But then we've got another match happening here. Here's a tag team match. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. And again, we're just fast forwarding this. The computer is generating like over several months, so this is clearly a feud that is going on. But maybe Angelo Dawkins is injured, I don't know. But there's no tag titles here that are on the line. And then you have Becky versus Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which is cool. So I could go in and then just edit these matches if I wanted to. Maybe you're not happy with the participants, you could do that. Like this one is really weird, and this one, well, maybe we want to make sure that this one is just change the participants. We're going to put the tag titles on the line. So make sure it's for championship. I left everything the same. Boom. Now the tag titles are on the line at Elimination Chamber. That's the same. That's the same. That's the same. We're good. And you save it and make sure you're good to go. But yeah, match tables are not complicated. It's figuring out what kind of works for you, how you like to set up your universe, and combining that with like copying over an existing universe, you could really simplify and streamline this thing. If this thing helped you out a lot, please go check out part 1 because we covered kind of the basics for universe mode. I really appreciate it if you would just hit the like button and maybe subscribe to the channel because that helps out a lot. And if you want to see more for universe mode, tips and tricks and all of that stuff, we could always try to find more. If you have more questions, I'd be happy to answer them too. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video. Bye.